As I told you last week, that we will close our lecture by having international lecture. And luckily, we have met and invited Professor Suhaimi. He is my colleague from a long time ago in Malaysia. And good thing is he will offer us with something new, even to me, when he tried to combine Ruhul Islam, we call it here Ruhul Islam, into the subject. Because so far, when we talk about strategy, we talk more about competition, right? But now he included ta'awun, cooperativeness. That's something new from our point of view, and even more Islamic, I believe. That's why we are so lucky to have this morning lecture. And let me also remind that, Prof. Sami, you are pleased to mix language, because if you don't mind, you can mix with Bahasa Indonesia or Malay, because some of us may be not so fluent in English. And also, student, when you have problem, you can talk, you can ask the question even in Bahasa Indonesia. I'll translate into English, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yeah, even though we have many similarities between Malaysia and Indonesia, but yet we still have some differences.
Yeah.
Right? So let me bridge it by using English, right? So without further ado, I would like to invite our lecturer, Professor Suhaimi Muhammad Sarif. So please, brother. So we have about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Then about half of them can be used for lecturing, and another half or less more we can use for Q&A, inshallah.
Inshallah,
so
Prof. We want to have more discussion.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Very much to the host, the moderator, Prof. Akhyar, our former colleague at the College of Economics from the Department of Accounting previously. And Alhamdulillah, Prof invited me to talk about management of strategies. And then because looking at Universitas RC is very much focusing on Islamic values, which is just in line with International Islamic University, which is our main focus is on Islamization. Okay, and inshallah, I will share with brothers and sisters on this topic of influence of ta'awun, mutual cooperation, in the strategies for competing in international market. Myself, actually, I graduated from Murdoch University, Australia, and also MBA from UKM, and I'm alumni of IIUM for my bachelor degree in business. And I'm a member of Malaysian Institute of Management, member of the International Council for Islamic Finance Educators, member of World Academy of Islamic Management, and I'm also a member for the teaching certificate holder for JAIS, Islamic State of Selangor, and also the Islamic Council for Federal Territory Kuala Lumpur. And Alhamdulillah, just to inform you that we managed now to produce a book called Strategic Management with Tauhid Orientation, together with my Sifu, my Tok Guru, my Kiai. Ini Kiai saya, Honorable. We call him Honorable Yusuf Ismail. Yep. And I'm his student during my undergraduate. So combination of his experience about 40 years in strategic management and my little experience of 23 years, I think 40 plus 23, 63 experience, inshallah. So this book is ebook. This is the publication in the IIIT, which is a US-based International Institute of Thought of Islamic Thought, and also WIM to expand knowledge about Islam. I think they also have their own office in Indonesia, Jakarta, because
yes,
we want to have more, right? More sharing of knowledge throughout the world. Okay, this is not business oriented. That's why if you look at this book, is just for the management of the publishers only. We want to share knowledge, okay, which is we talk about cooperation. So what to be expected from my lecture? This is what we call the hasil perkongsian inshallah, to understand why ta'awun, is used in managing strategies. Next, why actually companies choose to compete in international markets, and then what are the conditions, what are the options, and what are the approaches. Because now if you find ta'awun call for cooperation, but the reality is competition. This will call like contradict. When actually you cooperate, when actually you compete, mashallah. So let's look at let's look at our reality. I think bapa-bapa, ibu-ibu in Indonesia, I think familiar with this brand, right? Nestle.
Yep.
Milo, right? Nescafe, Nestea, Nesquik, Nestum, and so forth. And this company is on consumer product, makanan, minuman, cereal, and then they have all over the world. But their base is not here, based in Europe. But look at, they emphasize on the power of food to enhance quality of life for everyone today and for generation to come. Very noble, which is like the birds, feeding the small birds. Okay, and this is something that very natural, very close to all of us. And the way Nestle do their business, they enter into Malaysia, Indonesia, and almost every part of the world is through this cooperation, mutual cooperation with the people. Of course, they are making money, but actually they are also making, they are simplifying the life of people into this business. Yeah, this is about food. Nestle, Milo. I think in the morning we want to be quick, a cup of Milo. All right. I think this is another thing. In Malaysia, when you talk about Malaysia, normally people talk about cars. Okay, Proton, Prodwa. These are the two cars that so-called national cars. The first national car we call Proton, and then the second national car we call Prodwa. Prodwa means number 2 lah. Number 2, number 1. And you know who are actually behind Proton and Prodwa? So in 1980s, when Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir became in power, he wanted to have high technology, high tech into the country. So one thing that people never thought, that he said, we wanted to have our own car, our car called Proton Saga. So who actually behind Proton? So because at that time, people in Malaysia love to drive Mitsubishi Galant, Mitsubishi Sedan, etc. lot. And then they find that this Mitsubishi very powerful, can carry a lot of things. People can. So Dr. Mahathir went to see Mitsubishi and start the talk, the arrangement, and we bring Mitsubishi into Malaysia, the engine, the expertise, and we create a car called Proton in 1983. So see, behind Proton actually Mitsubishi. But how long? Of course, if you see the logo itself, so transformed from, the 1983 until 92, different logos, and then keep changing. And also they keep having, arrangement. And until, when the Proton decline, the cars are not accepted because they have to compete with so many cars. So Chinese company came in to re-innovate everything. And now that's why the Proton car is now very powerful with this animal, from Malaysia logo now into the animal with Geely Corporation. So the car is now totally different. It's no longer the car of Mitsubishi. If you look at the car now, it's more likely the Volvo. There is a resemblance of Volvo because Geely acquired Volvo. So Geely is now the owner of Volvo. So Geely can do anything to all its companies. So now people are very, very happy, to drive this what called X70, X90 Proton. They feel like driving, the expensive Volvo SUV. But remember, I show here also, you might wondering, why did I show this car and then you have this gut, right? You see your Bapak Jokowi, you have a similar car idea, right? But you are, Bapak Jokowi drives, Mercedes-Benz, right? Recently, he went to very remote area. The road was very, very dirty, but with Mercedes-Benz. And this is our Prime Minister, number 10, PMX. We call her PMX. He also using, Proton limousine. The pride of our country, our national vehicle. We are now using this Proton limousine, Proton sedan, and also Proton SUV. This is one side, but remember we have another side, which is the Produa. Produa actually is the competitor of Mitsubishi because we collaborate with that Daihatsu. The earlier car we call Kancil. I think Prof. Ayah remember Kancil, huh?
Yeah, still.
Kancil, small, huh?
Yep.
Save petrol. And then 600cc, 800cc, it is all less 1000 cc.
Right.
But later on, they collaborated with Daihatsu. Daihatsu, of course, the Proton, Kancil also Daihatsu. But later on, Daihatsu and Proton collaborate. Daihatsu and Toyota collaborated to innovate better car. Now, if you come to Kuala Lumpur, Bapak-bapak, ibu-ibu, if you call for Grab, you will find they come to you with Asia or they come to you with Beza.
Oh, Beza is belong to Perdua, right?
Produa, Beza under
I
Produa.
see.
Asia also under Produa.
Okay, I saw Beza already.
Yeah, Beza. This Beza,
Yeah,
this is Asia.
Okay.
But the one that powerful on the road, we call king of the road, those are we call Myvi.
Myvi, yes.
Myvi king of the road because it can, it's very, very powerful, in terms of speed, compact car. But those more than 1.3, 1.5. But Beza and Asia is 1000 plus, 1.1, 1.2 is safe, compact, and also spacious. But this technology between Toyota, Daihatsu, they share their what I call technology with Produa. So sometimes in Malaysia we confuse which one Toyota, which one Produa.
I see.
Because now hybrid Toyota, Daihatsu already combined. Now the product is Produa. Can you see now the benefit of having the big, very sustainable and very popular brand in the world, and they transfer technology to Malaysia. Now we can enjoy this car. However, they have arrangement, Toyota and Produa. So the SUV produced by Toyota is expensive because they have the brand Toyota. But the same SUV manufactured, but all of them manufacture the same factory in Produa. But one is Toyota, the other one is called Produa Arus. For example, in my own example, I drive Toyota, what I call Toyota Rush. They call Rush.
Yep. But
the Produa version is Toyota Arus, Produa Arus. Similar. If you look at from the road, if you look from the distance, they are almost similar. But when you look at closely, they are different. Because logo, one is Produa, one is Toyota. But the price are different. Arus much cheaper compared to Rush, Toyota Rush. It depends on the market. Which one do you want? Do you want the brand or do you want the SUV price comfort? So in other words, this particular arrangement, mashallah, give the mercy to the people in terms of the choice. So I'm just giving you example, how mutual cooperation can bring benefit, at least to the consumers. But now, what actually the essence of ta'awun? Ta'awun, if you check from the Quran, is about mutual assistance, solidarity, cooperation. That is based on roh, like Prof. Hayat mentioned, rohul Islam, based on spirituality. When talk about spirituality here, rohul Islam itu, Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala define ta'awanu 'alal bir wa taqwa. Must be two in order to qualify ta'awun. Al-bir, righteousness, something good, no shubha, no hybrid with something bad, and the driven is by taqwa. Taqwa mean here, taqwa huna. Taqwa tu di sini, di sudur, di call di domir kita, di domir, di hati kita. That is the taqwa. Taqwa huna. This is taqwa. What does it mean? Then Allah say, wala ta'awanu 'alal ithmi wal 'udwan. No such thing called cooperation if you go for sins and also go for conflict, or you make people quarrel, compete, and then destroy, slandering. No, that is not considered as ta'awun. But ta'awun only al-bir wa taqwa. Why is that? We chose, my Shifu, Honorable Yusuf, chose this ta'awun because after we examine penelitian kami di atas subjek strategi ini, the process of strategy is actually a lot of cooperation. Ada collaboration between managers and employees, stakeholders. Because if you want to follow strategy, you need to have more input. You need to do together. CEO, president cannot do it alone. They need the managers, executives, customers, policymakers work together in order to get to formulate strategies that can give them sustainable advantage. Kelebihan yang berpanjangan. Itu dia punya tujuannya, supaya this is the context daripada from the conventional. They wanted to have sustainable advantage. Mereka mahu kelebihan yang berpanjangan, kebijakan yang berpanjangan, tapi akhirnya keuntungannya berpanjangan. The Academy of Management, dekat the US, they are not moving. They are no longer talking about competition. They are talking about now mutual cooperation. They call now they call co-optation. Ada istilah pula co-optation. Cooperation and competition. So the cooperation, lepas tu compete pula. How? Itu dia punya business model. Dia kata kita cooperate on the model. Nanti kita compete when come to the market. Itu yang berlaku dalam konteks Toyota, Mitsubishi, Toyota, Daihatsu dengan Produa. Sedangkan itu Toyota and Daihatsu ini competitors. They are competitors. But when come to a market, they wanted to have both, money and also kelebihan, advantage. They work together with this Produa, and actually, they save costs and they can sustain their brand. So Daihatsu still selling their car, Toyota selling their car, and Produa also selling their car. But they are having their own segments, their own customer, and they work very well. Kalau dilihat, these three are competitors. But why they can do? Because why? Because according to the conventional, when the competition is very, very stiff, too many. Kalau di Malaysia ni, ada Honda, ada Nissan, ada macam-macam kereta. And how actually to make sure orang akan bagi patronage pada Produa, national car, but they can still enjoy Toyota, Daihatsu. Jadi ada Produa, Daihatsu dengan Proton tak perlu lagi manufacture car, export dari Japan or other plants Thailand ke mana, They just for Malaysia, plant in Malaysia, same plant, same engineer, same expertise, and they just get their profit with very clean hand. Dengan bersih dapat the profit. Itu baru we call albir. Itu konsepnya albir, kebaikan. Kebaikannya alhamdulillah dari segi the customer dapat kebaikan, the company dapat kebaikan, transfer knowledge, etc. Tapi di mananya takwa? Where is the takwa? Takwa is more spirituality. For example, the sense of izzah, the sense of nationality, the sense of togetherness. In other words, Japanese, Malaysian, they can work together. Even though they have different language, but they work together. And they feel that they are no longer Japanese and Malaysia, Melayu, China, India, and Malaysia, but they are the family of automotive industry. This we call they bring the brotherhood, the solidarity in this context of automotive business. Okay, leave it there, the background and also the ta'awun. Okay, let me show you the conventional reason. Why companies compete in international market? So these are the typical reasons, because to get more customers, to lower the cost, to get the competencies, kelebihan, kemahiran yang ada di tempat tersebut, akan access to resources yang ada di sana, and to widespread the risk. Semua reason ni ada pada yang ada di Nestle, ada di Toyota, Pro2, Proton, yang Mitsubishi, Toyota, Daihatsu. Kenapa Daihatsu sanggup bekerjasama? Because they want to have customer in Malaysia, and also to the extent, Pro2 export also, export to other places. Proton also export to other places. Can you see now dia punya rahmatan lil alamin itu very wide, very wide. Kalau Toyota alone, Toyota known, but Toyota has some barriers. Because I said they say Japanese, but now Japanese in Melayu, in Malaysia, and I see, oh, this is different. Can you see now? Ini ada kelebihannya. Ada satu lagi Toyota ada dia punya fokus, and they have a collaboration dekat Daihatsu di luar negara. This boleh jadi dia punya sanctuary. They can widespread their risk. The istilah do not put all eggs in one basket. Jadi bila ada berlaku kelebihan currency etc., ada kelebihannya. Di sana dia murah, when US dollar strengthen, ada kelebihannya. Ada US dollar down, ada kelebihannya. Itulah widespread the risk. Resources, orang di sini murah gajinya. Brainnya tinggi. Bijaksananya tinggi, gajinya murah, bagus untuk bisnes. Dan sebenarnya orang sini mau belajar how to learn to be in automotive. I actually learn different. Now our engineers, our designers learn about this. Jadi ini yang reason why masuk ke dalam pasaran antarabangsa. Di mana ta'awunnya di sini? Ta'awunnya di sini, they have to work together. Tak boleh nak masuk ke negara lain, masuk begitu. You don't know. Dia punya culture, dia punya language, the budaya, even so-called Nusantara, Malaysian dengan Indonesian, even similar place, but in terms of language dah tak sama. The Indonesian language and Melayu language different. Budayanya, walaupun sini ada orang Jawa, ada orang Bugis, ada orang Banjar, tapi bila diamati beda sekali, kan? Amalannya tak sama. Namanya Jawa, tapi amalan tak sama dengan Jawa di sana. Makannya mungkin sama, baksonya boleh sama, tapi dia punya lokasi tu beza, location dah beza, ada influence, ada factor that influence. Jadi ta'awunnya di sini, you have to collaborate, you kena kerjasama, and then untuk collaborate, dia sebelum ta'awun ni dia kena ada ta'aruf. Kalau tak ada ta'aruf, nobody going to give trust to you. Kalau ta'aruf ni, dia bukan setakat tahu nama, di mana tinggal, tetapi lebih kepada hati ke hati, heart to heart. Dipanggil deep ta'aruf ni, deep level. dia lebih mengurangkan zon-zon, seuzon tu, buang, tumpukan kepada ukhwah, tumpukan kepada kebaikan. Jadi ta'aruf tu penting. Bila ada ta'aruf, dia akan menjadi takaful. Takaful itu memberi pertolongan. Kalau di Malaysia takaful itu insurans. Kalau di Indonesia takaful itu insurans juga, Pak.
Sama, sama.
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 Di sini kalau sebut takaful itu Islamic insurance.
Ya.
Kalau tak ada takaful, conventional insurance. Takaful, ya, satu elemen takaful itu insurans lah, bagi pelindungan. Tapi takaful in the sense dia lebih kepada dia spirituality, roh sini. Takaful protect your own brothers and sisters. Anything that if someone talk bad about you, they will say no, I know my brother very well. No, you are wrong about him. Jadi pembelanya, jadi lawyer, bela saudaranya. Itu peringkat takaful yang tinggi, dia lebih daripada spirituality. Dalam bisnes pun sama, kalau ada negative thing, dia akan bagi statement, no, I know them very well. Toyota say no, Prodo is good, Prodo is not bad. No, you have wrong information about Prodo. Geely, dia kata Proton itu bagus. No, Geely, even a Chinese company, but because they already have the ta'aruf and takaful, they are very cooperative. That's why bila kami teliti, kebanyakan reason memerlukan ta'awun yang bersifat deep level, bukan bersifat, kalau yang surface level, kebanyakan the arrangement fail. Dia tak lama, tak boleh sustainable dia punya arrangement dekat international market. Sebab hati tu dah berbeza. Dia punya zon-zon tu seuzon tu banyak. Dia punya prejudice, dia punya sangka buruknya banyak. Jadi benda tak bertahan lama. Jadi ta'awun di sini perlu ada. Kemudian what are the condition when you want to go to international market? Apa yang perlu dilihat? What you have to see? Of course, now different countries have different advantages and different capabilities. Every country, when it comes to international market, we don't see that Tanzania has no advantage. Senegal has no advantage. Ethiopia, no. Every country has different advantage, but we have to explore what are the advantages. Okay, could be the resources, could be the manpower, could be the policy of the government. So every country, number one, they have different advantages. Number two, when we go to any country, we have to identify, when it comes to business mindset, location-based value change. What you can get, from your factory to a customer. What is the value chain advantage that you can enjoy from that particular country? And of course, when you do business, you are very about your profit, isn't it? Accountants, auditors, they will find accountants to help them how to avoid tax. Because of this tax rate, economic differences, people wanted to maximize their profit, and they want to minimize costs in the form of paying tax and tariff and so forth. And also to look at the currency exchange. Now US dollar is strengthening, ringgit Malaysia is now weakening. But again, even in this situation, we have advantage in terms of, because our country is export country. So because we are lower, okay, because dollar is stronger, so there will be more purchase. We became cheap, so people wanted to purchase more of products from this country. That's one example. And then number 5, this is called the Rahmat al-Alamin. We want to give what I call the preferences, the taste of people from different country. So again, to know this condition, to know these advantages, there's no other ways. We need to get the local, cooperate with them, study together, pengamatan yang bersama, pembudayaan yang bersama, and then in order to get this clear, deliberated, so that we go with peace of mind. Okay, how to enter? These are the options to enter into foreign markets. The basic one, import, export. Import, you purchase, right? Export, you sell. This is basic business, buy and sell. Okay? You buy, you import. You sell, you export. So whatever you have, you export. Okay? Indonesia export their goods to Malaysia. We have Indomie noodle, bakso, all the ingredients, that we imported from Indonesia. Something called tom yum, etc. We imported from Thailand. Something from the Philippines, fish, which I call something that cheaper. We also import from our neighboring countries, and also we imported from India the spices, mutton. We import also from Australia. The lambs, beef. We imported. We don't have enough. We imported. We also imported our rice from Indonesia and also from Thailand, because you people have huge land and you produce a lot of rice. We also imported rice. So this import export, the basic international market option. Number two, you license company to produce and distribute their product abroad. For example, we have in Malaysia. Last time we have Kia vehicle. Kia is from Korea, and they wanted to sell their vehicle in Malaysia. And used Kia, perhaps people are not really, patronage about Kia. So what happened? They collaborated with one company here, this company, and then they changed, instead of they call Kia, Kia Carnival, they call here Naza company. Naza is another company, and instead of Carnival, they call Nazaria. So this is example, the license. The license to Naza Motor to use the Naza logo and Naza distribution center to distribute Kia vehicle in Malaysia. But now I think I'm not sure whether Naza is still doing. But now we see in our road, it's no longer Nazaria, but we see now Kia Carnival. Kia kind of back. I think the license plate already changed or whatnot. This is license. This also you don't have to go to that country, but through your agents. Sometimes people call sole distributor. This is another license. You distribute like vehicle, trucks, machinery, etc. This is called licensing. Number three, we have the franchising. I think you're familiar with McDonald's, right?
Yep.
McDonald's in Malaysia, KFC. I call this fast food change. I think in Makkah also have KFC. KFC, McDonald's. Immediately, people see McDonald's, say, Alhamdulillah, save their life. They are not familiar about the brand, but they go anywhere, they see KFC, they see McDonald's, they just go in. But again, we reminded them, KFC, McDonald's in Malaysia, Alhamdulillah, halal tamiban. But we're not sure McDonald's and KFC in other parts of the world. Because, of course, McDonald's, KFC, very strong brand. But you have to look at, because they're franchisee and the local contact might have different when it comes to halal. I think YRC also concerned about halal, isn't it? Halal yes. Research. Halal, how actually halal can be associated with, this franchising business. Number four, this is the time for you to go to that country. This is where we call the greenfield venture. You establish a company in overseas, whether you establish new in overseas together with local, or you acquire existing company in the local. This is called greenfield. This one, you already serious. You already migrated to that particular country, and you are very serious. You wanted to be there, okay, in that particular country. And number five, You can use joint ventures, alliances, start partnership with the foreign companies. These are the typical that people use to enter. If you look at closely, whether it is very simple export-import, licensing, franchising, greenfield, joint venture, there is element cooperation in that particular arrangement. Even in passport, you have to do arrangement to have the agreement, MOU, in order to have the understanding. Right? Licensing, more I call complicated with the agreement. When it comes to franchising, higher level, because involve your name, your brand, your terms and conditions. When you go to the country, more serious. You're talking about the whole investment is there. Okay, so the ta'awun here is very we call embedded, termasuk dalam semua cara-cara untuk the option to enter to foreign countries. Okay, bapak-bapak, ibu-ibu masih segar?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Ini approaches there. What are the approaches that we can compete internationally? This from conventional perspective. You can go directly, macam tadi, one-to-one. You can go to many. You can go to the entire world. And you also can have transit here and there. Banyak cara. One-to-one, Malaysia to Indonesia, Malaysia to Thailand, Malaysia to Philippines, Malaysia to Saudi, Malaysia to India, Malaysia to... so we go one-to-one. And then, what you go, Malaysia to Indonesia, different strategy. Malaysia to Thailand, different strategy. Malaysia to Philippines, different strategy. But when you say global strategy, wherever you go, you standardize. Satu saja. Like Toyota, you go to everywhere, Toyota, everywhere, Toyota apply only one strategy, one what we call terms and conditions. There is no different country, different terms. We call standardized. Toyota, Sharp, Mitsubishi, Daihatsu, Mercedes, BMW, all these, they apply global. But when it comes to transnational means you go to one country and you have your arrangement, like let's say you go to Indonesia, Malaysia to Indonesia, then Malaysia in Indonesia they will treat like Indonesia as let's say marketing office in Indonesia. This is marketing office only in Indonesia. Thailand, perhaps the production office in Thailand. Manila is the design office. And Saudi Arabia in Jeddah, another office, just to get the money. In other words, their functions are no longer in one place, in the host country, but in the home, but they were very places. Why? Because of what actually the advantages at that particular place. This is another way you can do your business, not really competing, but the term used in convention is competing, but actually they are more of co-opetition, cooperate and competing. They cooperate with that local, but they compete with other competitors who are not in their cooperation. Let's say Toyota and Daihatsu already cooperated. So in Malaysia, they don't compete, they cooperate. But in other places, they go as usual. In other words, that's why they have cooperation and competition. And at the end, actually, at the end, we see, the world is not going to just, compete. One day, they are going to just cooperate, because under SDG, if you look at SDG number 17, the world must work together for the sustainable world. This is where, the world, not just Malaysia, the world in 2015 decided that we cannot compete because we are using a lot of resources. Now the time for us to cooperate, partnership, work together, because whatever you do nowadays, even in Malaysia, in our economic plan also, we incorporated SDG, because the world has decided, the world decided that we cannot go on with the competition. We have to collaborate. And what sense? IOM offer Ruhul Islam. SDG number 18. Ibu bapa, SDG 18 called Ruhul Islam or spirituality. In order to cooperate, in order to partnership, we have to get rid of our silo, our differences. Cannot. We have to come together as one nation, one world, and one ummah. Eventually, this is what ummah, ummatic thinking. Right? I think, Prof, I remember we call ummatic thinking. Ummatic thinking means we are different. No, that is what Allah created. Difference of male and female, different nationality, different language. But when come to oneness, Tawheed, that we are one. We are one human. We are one humanity. We are one, oneness. The world is only one. Bumi ini satu saja. We don't have one planet, two planet. If this planet destroy, we are destroyed together. If we sung together, cannot say that, oh, that happened in Venezuela, nothing to do with us in Malaysia. But the impact. What happened in Ukraine? Impact to us as well. What happened in UK? Changing our religion, impact us also. What happened in Canada nowadays? Impact us also. In other words, whatever your pain, like in Islam, say if your right leg is painful, your leg also painful. Now the world can feel, bad thing happen in Norway, we can feel, but we still don't recognize that we are oneness in terms of humanity. Okay, in my report actually, when you enter into international market, right from the process of strategic management and all this reason, we cannot run away with the ta'awun. The only thing that we lacking, is the taqwa. The taqwa is not really happening because people don't look at the need to have the piety. But the element of taqwa we have, like for example, integrity, ethical, conscious, conscious management, conscious decision making, ethical decision making. This value, emerged in 1999 because of, I think you're aware, Enron Corporation in US collapsed because these people are very qualified, but they are very unethical. Those accountants, lawyers, analysts, bankers, these people very, very qualified, high academic qualification from Yale, Princeton, Harvard, but they brought this big company in the US down. Shameful to the US corporation and shameful to the corporate world in the world. At the end, the corporate decided we have to bring what called ethics to all our professionals. Now, from 2000 onward, everyone, in business school, we incorporate, whether incorporate in every subject or we have special course called business ethics or management ethics, or even every subject now we have ethics. Those 2000. But later on, 2015, we have SDG. Now, everywhere we have SDG in the studies of management and business. Okay, inshallah, way forward, brothers and sisters, we in the business school, we don't just talk. We have to do something. We have to do assignment. Your assignment, I think assigned by Prof. Akhyar, cannot be just rest in the book, in the assignment. Must be shared with the world. Rahmatul Alamin, shared with the world. So I offer all of you to our journal. I'm the editor, chief editor for this journal. IIUM, Journal of Case Studies in Management. Anything that you study in your place. I can see Kedai Reka, I can see your business, right? Our student have here. You write about your company, your story, and then you share with us. And through this, this actually journal is under the Graduate School of Management. Like you have Scholar Pasca Sarjana Management, right? In ERC. This is our Scholar Pasca Sarjana Management. So this is the journal. We invite all of you. And this one is for case study. if you wanted to put into Islamic management, we have our collaborator, the World Academy of Islamic Management. We welcome all of you also to join our academy. The president is Prof. Farida. The former president, Prof. I think you met him before, not sure. Professor Muhammad Sulaiman from USM. Professor Sulaiman, and the founder of this World Academy of Management. And so you are welcome also to submit your article, empirical article, to this journal with the Rohul Islam perspective. Okay, and also continuous engagement between all of you as student and also academic over there. We can have research collaboration, teaching, consultancy, training, and we have between your school and also our school here, joint supervision. We can have exchange programs, networking. Alhamdulillah, today the starting, you invited us for the what called Syarahan Tamu, the lecture. Kuliah tamu. And then I think we talk about rule Islam, halal. Our university also another center of excellence in our IUM is we are the spearheading in halal. We have halal science and now halal management. Halal science, they're talking about the devices, right? All about science, food. But we management school offer you. We have our expert here in Department of Business. We have 25 faculty members specialized in this area. And of course, School of Economics, we have more than 100 people in economics, accounting, finance. But the expertise from Department of Business, halal management, marketing, international business, human resource, entrepreneurship, and also sustainable development. You are most welcome for research in this area and also collaboration in this area. Okay, thank you very much for your kind attention. So to have more, you can acquire this book because we have a topic about strategic management, and we emphasize on our Tawheed, including Tawheed is not just thinking, it's about thinking, raw action as well. Okay, thank you very much. Welcome any question and sharing. Wabillahi taufiq. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Amazing, Prof. Fahmi. So glad to have all this. We are so lucky to have you. We can extend our mind, even though we have talked about this topic somehow last week, but then you extend with the own. Something that we know, but maybe you forget it before. And basically, I just remember one thing. Maybe just add one simple thing that what called synergy.
Yeah, you are right. Yeah.
Because I remember when Prof. Habibie long time ago, at the initial time he developed the aircraft in Indonesia, we collaborate with the Spain CASA. At the time, this is the first time I get my synergy right. The front part, the back part of the craft is made by our country, but the front part is made by Spain. Then in selling, in marketing, if they sell it in the European market is belong to CASA, the Asian market is belong to us, but for Africa and America, we share the market. So once aircraft is sold, then we can sell half, the back part. That's what the collaboration. And then finally, Habibie can develop his own aircraft. It's amazing.
Yes,
that's also ta'awun actually. Ta'awun. Okay.
Yeah, ta'awun.
Well, yeah, thank you so much. Really amazing material. So now I'm inviting all of you. One more thing I forgot. Let me just. I'm afraid that when you say about Kereta just now, it means in our country. Yeah. So when is mentioned about car or Kereta, it means mobile in our country.
Mobile.
Because when I was in Australia a long time ago, we have ta'lim, right, pengajian, where we are combining between Malaysian and Indonesian, right? So I was a speaker. I thought when I said that kereta means train.
Oh, train, kereta.
So
mobil.
I have to misunderstand between me, especially, and our colleague from Malaysia, because I imagine train, but he imagine kereta, car. Mobil. That's why.
I forgot the term mobil.
That's okay. That's why I remind. So I'm inviting, saya mengundang semua peserta
Rob, I saw the question
Yes.
from the chat. There's one question asking about blue ocean strategy.
Okay.
How to apply blue ocean in the using ta'awun. Yes.
All right. Okay.
Mr. or I'm not sure, Ibu Hero.
Hero is Mr.
Mr. Hero.
Yeah. Okay. Please.
Yeah, actually, blue ocean strategy is what you call, Mr. Hero, blue ocean. We have blue ocean, we have red ocean. Red ocean is the illustration that this particular market ni dah penuh. Red, that's why called red. Red mean dah penuh. Tiada ruang, no more space for people to compete and to get more profit. Dah terlalu penuh dan very steep. So, dia kata blue ocean tu, we have to find another ocean very far. We create new market from this ocean. No longer red, we call the blue ocean. Blue ocean actually, blue ocean strategy is what we call market, what we call intensity strategy. Intensity strategy mean we have product development, market development, product development. This blue ocean under we call market development. We create new market so that the market will be new. And people will come. What actually the meaning of new market mean? Of course, in the new market require innovation, require creativity, and also collaboration with those who are willing to be with you, because nobody is going to join you into the new market. So now the blue ocean now, the EV, electronic vehicle, mobil yang guna elektrik, guna elektrik mean because very high risk, how actually to expand. So those who have high risk, like all this mobile business already competitive, like same car and use petrol, not sustainable. So people go into the EV, electrical vehicle. So this require like Tesla have to work with so many other countries, not just countries, in order to get support to use to provide the facilities for them. So when it comes to market development, you have what you call horizontal and also vertical. Horizontal means you have to work with different companies, and then within the company you also need to have vertical too. Vertical too, they are more internal. Whether you want to use your own material or you acquire the material and you acquire also the market. I give example of the vertical integration in KFC Malaysia. They have their own chicken. They don't buy chicken from others. They have their own chicken farm. And of course, now they have their own restaurant. They sell chicken to their restaurant. So KFC using this in order to sustain in terms of quality and price. The size of the chicken, same. The price, so they can sell stabilized. Chicken price increase in Malaysia, KFC doesn't increase the price. Why? Because they have their own resources. But again, they acquire this company. Of course, they don't have expertise in chicken farm, and they have to collaborate also with the local who are specialized in poultry. So this also vertical integration also require.
Yeah, backward vertical integration.
No options doing silo.
Yeah.
No option.
Yeah. They do backward because they are
backward integration,
backward.
forward integration. This we call the vertical integration strategy.
Right. Okay, thank you. So please, any other comment, question? So we are lucky to have provided Soimi this morning. You have feel free to ask anything related to our subjects. And really, I'm so thankful, Prof, that you're offering us to work together, to write two articles together, even to exchange our students, I think.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So maybe some of you will go to Malaysia for one semester, or Malaysian students come to us for a semester, right? But yet you still have a degree, both from Malaysia and from Malaysia. Let's talk about that later on, inshallah.
Yeah,
now our exchange of lecturer or exchange of student if possible, and of course exchange of the research.
Ruhul Islam, because you mentioned Ruhul Islam. Our forte, Ruhul Islam is our forte.
Right. So please, that's another another question again.
I'm not familiar with Daimler Chrysler aspiration. Sorry. This one, of course, anything that in any collaboration, one thing that I can give you an idea. When come to collaboration, there is time when you have to separate. When you separate, because one thing, both parties are no longer having mutual objectives. Similarly, like our marriage also, when the marriage doesn't have any more objective, no, the marriage separate, divorce. This we call contractual. When come to contract, another element called freedom. We cannot force people to be in the contract. So Islam allows for freedom of rights, freedom to engage. Because when our ta'aruf, like, cannot continue to the extent that we are no longer having the spirit, to work together anymore. Like marriage, we no longer have spirit to continue the marriage, so we decided to separate or divorce. Similarly to company, when the objective already called terminated or objective already saturated, no longer can go on, so they want to separate. But when come to business, there are always, conventional business, always two matters. Number one, about cost minimization, profit maximization, and number two, about sustainable advantage. Sustainable advantage is another reason for business to separate, because if they continue to work together, they cannot cover the cost, and also they are having disadvantage because one party perhaps have different bad reputation, so to reduce the risk, they separate. This is another what I call reason why company decided to stop their collaboration, separate their collaboration, and also other external factors that also influence. Sometimes due to the top down from external, the government, and also sometimes from the shareholders. Okay, one more question here from Bapak Iman. Bapak Iman asking about sincerity and implementation of business profit. Tasawwur business can still, yes. Ta'awun that I said just now, two elements. One is we call albir, and the other one is taqwa. Albir, people can easily understand. Anything good, people go on. But the challenging part is the taqwa. Sincerity, ikhlas is under the taqwa. The taqwa is here, taqwa is here. But even level of taqwa also different. Taqwa also have different level depending on your ruh, your ruh exercise. Ruh must have exercise also. Ruh cannot just leave it, because our body, if you are relaxed, we got sick, isn't it? Sakit, ya? Mau sehat, kena exercise. Body kena exercise. Roh juga kena exercise. Roh tak exercise, roh juga sakit. So when it comes to tasawwur, tasawwur business mean the paradigm of business. Okay, paradigm business, the conventional now is we call profit maximization, capitalism. Maximize profit, minimize cost, and then we call sustain the advantage. But it doesn't mean that when you just go for business just for profit, there is no taqwa, there is no benefit. This, when it comes to ethics, we have different level. One we call economic responsibility, and after that we have the legal responsibility, we have the moral responsibility, social responsibility, and finally we call the self-actualization, or we call the actually self-actualization for us actually taqwa. Lastly, the taqwa. But eventually, the first level, when it comes to Islam also, first level is zakat. Zakat is compulsory, right? You ikhlas, sincere or not, you have to pay zakat. I say, how can you pay zakat? You are not ikhlas. Show your, call cameraman, etc. You are not ikhlas. Because compulsory. When it comes to wajib, compulsory, whether you ikhlas or not, you have to do it. No choice. But eventually, you go for what? After zakat, what? After zakat, sedekah, right? Wakaf. Wakaf is no longer compulsory, but encouraged, isn't it? But after you do zakat, and one thing you realize, zakat not enough, right? I need to do more jariyah. So they go for wakaf. Now, alhamdulillah, we see big companies like Tan Sri Syed Bukhari, I'm not sure whether you know this. Syed Bukhari, very rich, among the richest men in Malaysia. he now wakaf some of his money into Al-Bukhari University, Al-Bukhari Foundation. Why? Because he said he wanted to expand his Jariyah into this. But not just Al-Bukhari having that kind of tasawwur.
Yeah.
Bill Gates, those people in the US, they also call endowment. They pay tax, at the same time also they give charity. This we call SDG, I call thinking nowadays, sustainability thinking in the context of our today's world. Am I answering you, Bapak Iman?
Well, I hope so.
Okay.
Another question is coming from
Ibu
Radia
Zaliza.
TV3.
Ibu Zaliza asking about SDG. How?
Oh, yes, SDG, right?
Yeah, I mentioned already just now.
Yeah.
Ta'awun, the SDG goal, we have 17. And for example, if you want to do like end of the poverty, and also zero hunger, you cannot do it alone. You have to work together, government, companies, civic society, community, everyone to work together to come to the zero hunger. For example, nobody knows your neighbor is hungry, right? Until you alert the NGO, isn't it? NGO doesn't know who is hungry, who is not. When you know that your neighbor is hungry and you do not know how to help, so you contact the NGO. NGO will come and do something. NGO will get the donation from the companies, and also they help the government to come up with policy to help the people with the poor. And then, Alhamdulillah, in the context of Kuala Lumpur, we have the DBKL, this Dewan Bandaraya Kuala Lumpur. They provide the space for company, NGO, individual to help the homeless to be more systematic. So not to say that we encourage homeless, but sometimes homeless not of their choice. No, they are homeless not because of their choice. Sometimes they are homeless because they do not have home to stay while having treatment. Some of them that we met, they say they're homeless because they can't afford to pay hotel, even budget hotel. But they have to go to see doctors, Kuala Lumpur Hospital, and then therefore they just hang out at Chowkit. Chowkit is a city that near Kuala Lumpur Hospital. So they sleep there, and people thought they're homeless. That they are not really homeless, but when people offer them food, Alhamdulillah, which is good for them. And now DBKL provide the shelter also for those permanent and also for temporary shelter. So in other words, Ta'awun is required to achieve all the 17 goals. You cannot just leave it to the government, you can just leave it to the NGO, but everyone. Is it okay, Ibu Zaliza?
Well, okay. I hope so. So we can go further.
Ibu
Hadiati.
Ibu Hadiati, how to maintain mutual cooperation with smoothly supplying companies. Yeah, you are right. This to sustain the ta'awun, we go back to our ta'aruf. Ta'aruf process is not one-off. You must maintain your ta'aruf. In other words, like continue to have town hall, discussion, dialogue, because if you continue to keep quiet a silo, this is where the su'uzan will emerge. Start to have su'uzan, bad thinking about others. So in other words, continue to find different ways. So companies in the context, different dialogue, different, I call team building. For example, team building. That's why companies have annual team building. They have, we call annual dinner. They have we call get together.
Annual gathering.
Annual gathering. Remember from here, we have IEP,
yep.
right?
Yep, exactly.
This way we get to know all the faculty members, right?
Even family, right?
Yeah, with our family even. We know, oh, this is your family, this is your kid. You know what? Because when you get together, later on when you return to your office, and then we start to talk about, hey, oh, your son is now doing medicine, no? Your son doing it. Then this conversation now, why don't we do research on this? Because in other words, it gives you more
Rooms.
room for you to get together. Even though this is informal, even formally organized, but informal, it can be also bring some benefit to the formal. So in other words, the corporate culture, the corporate values, the corporate objective also must be aligned. That's why what we call nowadays SDG size your values. Or it is 17 goal, put into your agenda. Like we university, right? We supposed to be on education, right? But we also do, in my case, no, I involved in urban farming, involved in giving food to the homeless. I also now involved in the kitchen, M Kitchen with our Dr. Zojastri. M Kitchen, we train students about culinary. This something nothing to do with studying management. Right? Culinary, vegetable farming, nothing to do. But why? Because from here, you can have the connection, you can get contact, you can get networking with people through these particular activities. Oh, Alhamdulillah. Ibu okay, huh? Ibu Dr. Hadiati. We can do more on this Ruhul Islam on this aspect. Bapak Irfan asking about protons. Indonesia has proton, you call it Kijang, isn't it? Mobil.
Well, Kijang, yeah.
Kijang, huh?
Kijang stand for Kerjasama Indonesia Jepang actually.
Oh,
Kijang
also
means
Japanese.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Toyota actually, Toyota.
Oh, Toyota also.
Yeah. That's why the first product was called Kijang, just Kijang, I think. Stand for Kerjasama Indonesia Jepang.
Kerjasama Indonesia Jepang. Oh,
Yep.
so Kijang.
Jepun, right? In Malaysia we call Jepun.
We call Jepang. So, okay, when it comes to proton actually, of course, you need to have practical will because that is the financial support to train the people to provide. Actually, behind this proton, we call the Look East policy from the government. One thing that I have to acknowledge here, our rector, Tan Sri Zulkifli Abdul Razak, his father, Dato' Abdul Razak, used to study in Japan during the World War, during the Japanese bomb. He was there, and 3 Malay guys went to study there. He was there, and he became, the bridge between Japan and Malaysia, because nobody can trust people in Malaysia unless the person is trusted among the Japanese. So the Japanese trust only Abdul Razak. So Prime Minister wanted to have collaboration with Japanese, but the Japanese didn't take this into their serious matter because they don't trust Dr. Mahathir. What they did, Dr. Mahathir has to approach the Malay Japanese, but Japanese Malays, but Japanese in mind, in row, Japanese row. So they call him Sensei. This brother, they call Sensei Abdul Razak. So they got this Sensei. This Sensei brought the Prime Minister of Japan and Prime Minister in the table with Sensei as the moderator. Alhamdulillah, and eventually because they trust Sensei, so they allow for this Look East policy to happen. And one of the project is the Proton Saga project, the first national car. And the Japanese allow Mitsubishi and all those experts. And Malaysian also went to Japan to learn about automotive engineering, etc. But why they cannot sustain, this proton? I think after, the economic changes, etc., they also changed their business model. And when we do not want, on our Malaysia side, we do not want just buy your engine and put in our car, we call proton. We want serious engine. And then that's why our Prime Minister Tun Mahathir went to UK to get this Lotus engine. So that's why, they go to Lotus and they change the Proton Saga engine with no longer Mitsubishi, but with the Lotus engine. And this also because when you cannot expand your collaboration, you cannot sustain your business. That's why Proton changed to Lotus. But later on, Lotus also have a problem with the engine. They changed to, that's why Geely came in to save, because Proton, to make Proton more dynamic. Now, Alhamdulillah, a revival to Proton with the Volvo element. And now we have the Volvo element in our vehicle. So a combination of politics, economic, and social, Mr. Irfan. It's not purely business, but because this involves government to government, business to business, and also people to people. They are more of that bilateral rather than unilateral.
Well, I may say here that Mahathir is more creative, right? More also brave. I mean, he's brave to do something new.
Yeah.
Yet still to keep the trust, but then not stuck into one commitment, right?
Yes.
He went to recently Volvo, right?
Yeah.
Well, in our country, maybe not many can do that. That's why we are still stick with Toyota till today.
Yeah.
We are strongly dominated by Toyota actually.
Toyota dominance.
Yeah. A long time ago, there was a what do you call it, the effort to do with Korea, as did by Tommy Suharto, but also failed, right? That's why I don't know. This really depends on many things. One of them, of course, the strong commitment of our individual people to do something, to innovate, to collaborate with other people, not only to stick with one company, let's say. Okay. Well, I hope Irfan, did it answer your question already? Okay, I hope so. Well, it is very interesting. Well, second, my battery almost flat.
Oh, okay.
One second.
Yeah, I can see Bapak Irfan on Kedai Reka. Is it your own shop?
Okay, so please, if there are some more questions can be addressed to Prof. Suhaimi. We still have time, inshallah. Now we have 66 participants, Prof. Suhaimi. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
So this is to class, I think.
66 case article to be submitted to my journal. And also Journal of Islamic Management Studies journal.
Yeah, true. Inshallah, we will do it soon.
Yeah, can be multiple authors, not just one author. Can be 3 authors. Because sometimes when you write, I want to know about case study about Kedai Reka. What actually Kedai Reka? Something interesting.
No, I just published recently, published in this June.
Yeah.
My newest article, that's about profit sharing, the power of profit sharing. We are talking about how Minang restaurant?
Minang restaurant.
Yes. So they actually doing musyarakah in almost, So let me share a little bit, right? I sent to you later when it is published. I accepted already. It will be published in this June, inshallah. 2 days ago, I got a notification that yes, accepted fully with small revision. Then they said we'll publish it this June. So soon I will share it.
Congratulations, bro.
Yeah, shukran. There's a case study of what I call rumah makan restoran, rumah makan Padang mie sederhana. It is the biggest chain right now in this country. I think 1 or 2 in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur. Yeah. Yeah, they call it sederhana.
Sederhana.
Yeah. That's why in here they are applying fully all the Minangkabau Ruhul Islam. They don't kill musyarakah, but first there's no employee over there. All employees are involved in ownership. That's why no salary, no wages. What they do, they share the profit every 2 months. They calculate the profit and loss, but then they share directly. Depends on the point that they will have according to the agreement. So let's say the capital owner will have certain points, then the chef, then all the other employees. I'll share to you when it's published.
Interesting that business model, because
that's why
customer to customer.
Yeah. I'll share to you. Unluckily, I just know your journal. Otherwise, I send to you.
Okay, no problem. Next time, in the journal.
Inshallah, I'll make another one. I will write another one.
Person raise hand, Mr.
Oh yes, Madani, please.
Roseno.
So please, Pak Madani. You are still muted. Unmute first. Masih muted, Pak Mardani. Pak Mardani, silakan di unmute dulu. Pak Mardani, di unmute dulu Pak.
Disable perhaps.
Siapa yang ini? Mungkin ada yang bisa bantu? Pak Mardani, tolong di unmute dulu. Nggak dengar suaranya Pak. Mungkin
Mute already.
Oke, please unmute. Oh, ada yang bisa bantu dari admin? Bu Fitri mungkin bisa bantu unmute. Nggak dengar Pak Mardani. Masih muted Pak. Tolong ada yang call beliau. Oh, malah hilang. Baik, sementara kalau masih ada yang lain kita nunggu Pak Mardani biar tersambung dengan baik dulu. Oke. Oke, silakan Pak Mardani sudah unmute. Silakan Pak Mardani.
Baik, bisa didengar?
Sudah, baik.
Baik. Mohon izin, Prof. Suhaimi, Bapak Moderator. Saya menyampaikan dalam bahasa Indonesia, moga-moga dapat ditangkap esensinya karena bahasa Inggris saya tidak terlalu baik. Saya takut esensinya malah meleset nanti.
Silakan.
Oke. Mungkin Prof. Suhaimi kita serumpun bisa menangkap. Begini, saya menangkap esensi tahun ini. Ya, kita collaborate antar negara untuk kemaslahatan di bidang ekonomi, di bidang teknologi. Cuma menjadi pertanyaan adalah begini, terkadang di negara Indonesia saya lihat itu fanatisme bangsa, fanatisme agama itu menjadi kendala. Sebenarnya yang saya tanyakan, rambu-rambu Islam untuk kerjasama internasional itu seperti apa? Karena belajar dari SMK, karena mobil ini kolaborasi sama Cina, itu tampaknya saya menangkap secara batiniah itu ada semacam fanatisme sempit ya, karena ketidaksukaan terhadap negara tersebut sehingga mungkin tidak bisa terlalu berkembang di sini. Sementara kalau dengan Jepang kita welcome saja gitu. Jadi mungkin saya hanya mohon pendapat saja bagaimana sih rambu-rambu Islam untuk kerjasama agama, kerjasama ekonomi sehingga mendatangkan kemanfaatan bagi bersama. Karena tantangannya saya lihat adalah permasalahan tadi fanatisme yang sempit tadi. Padahal di negara luar, dunia luar sana kolaborasi dengan negara Cina itu sudah cukup banyak di bidang teknologi. Tapi mungkin kendala di Indonesia, pandangan saya belum tentu benar, adalah fanatisme sempit itu sehingga agak sulit berkembang. Saya kira demikian. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih Pak Mardani. Kembali kepada persoalan ta'aruf tadi. Kita persepsi buruk terhadap China, terhadap Venezuela, terhadap even Cuba, negara yang kita anggap negara yang tak secocok dengan kita, komunis tentunya. Tapi atas ta'aruf tadi, waqaba ila li ta'arufu, yang ditekankan, ada dua scholars datang ke Malaysia baru-baru ini, Pak Habib Umar dengan Maulana Ali datang. Dia ulang-ulang surah Al-Hujurat ini. Wa qabaila li ta'arafu, Allah ciptakan manusia ini ada wanita, ada pria, ada macam-macam nationalities, macam-macam fahaman. Satu saja, mereka hendaklah ta'aruf. Mereka hendaklah berjumpa dan berta'aruf. Kalau tak jumpa, tak bertaaruf, negatif itu akan sentiasa ada. Kalau kita pertama kena break, kena buang rasa curiga itu, rasa skepticism itu kena buang, dan kita fokus kepada kelebihan rahmatan lil alamin. Itu kena ada. Tapi kalau masih asobiah, masih silo, masih kuat dengan etno-tourism, ada. Kita ada negara yang kuat dia punya ethnorism. Dia Europe is meant for Europe, America for America, Canada for Canada. Susah lah. Dia jadi tidak mau kerjasama, dia tak mau keluar daripada negara dia. Jadi bila dia melihat pada, sebab China satu ketika close ekonomi, tutup, tapi bila melihatkan potensi dia nak pasarkan barangan dia, nak kembangkan ekonomi dia sanggup pergi ke Afrika, yang tempat yang banyak pergaduhan, banyak peperangan. China pergi ke Afrika dan dia menjadikan Afrika tu sebagai sebahagian daripada negara China. Dia sampai digunakan mata wang dia di Afrika itu. Jadi namanya dia ketepikan komunisme sebab dia nampak satu, dia nak pasarkan dia punya produk, widespread the customer, what I call profit, and also to widespread dia what I call dia punya influence di semua negara. Itu kena ada. Kalau jiwanya itu, jiwa mau meluaskan empire ataupun dalam roh Islam ni, bukan empire, dia panggil rahmat. Rahmat ke seluruh alam. Itulah kalau di IAM akhir rahmatan lil alamin. Mercy to all those. And itu kalau itu tasawurnya itu ada, dan dia akan pergi kepada ta'aruf. Dia akan jumpa, akan perbezaan tu dia ketepikan. Sebab yang membedakan itu ciptaan Allah, cipta macam-macam, tapi dia fokus kepada inna akramakum indallah atqakum. Itu adalah takwa yang membedakan pelbagai-pelbagai nasional, pelbagai-pelbagai pahaman adalah takwa. Apa takwanya? Mahu kerjasama, mahu berkongsi, mahu mendapatkan rahmat dan sebagainya. Tapi kalau tasawurnya, pandangannya masih lagi tidak mahu, jadi itu sukarlah, memang tidak boleh buat apa-apalah. Jadi mesti kena ada, mesti tukar tasawur tu. Macam China pun dia tukar tasawur dia tu, dia punya pandangan alam tu, the world view tu tukar. Dia tukar sebab dia nak, tapi tukarannya dia nak dapatkan more profit lah. Tapi bagi roh Islam ni, tukar pandangannya, tukar kepada pandangan takwa. Lihat suatu benda dengan pandangan takwa, dia akan nampak kebaikan. Yang perbezaan tadi dia ketepikan kerana dia nampak takwa. Sebab itu kalau di IUM atau di mana-mana, surah Al-Hujurat ni sentiasa diulang-ulang sampai surah Al-Hujurat ni menjadi dasar dalam apa-apa juga collaboration or form of interaction. Okey tak Bapak Maradani?
Prof. Suhaimi, can I extend a little bit more?
Yes, please, Prof.
One question. Well, I think why this happened, I mean the what do you call that? The feeling of, let's say just now, fanatism, right? Not because of it is, but more to the history, I believe. Yeah, we see from the history that, sorry to say, even for the current situation, that China used to conquer, right, the certain area, and then they used to, quote unquote, I may say, abuse as well. They control until the local people can be defeated, can be defeated easily. Yeah, I think that's among the reasons why people are afraid of them. Yeah, because in some extent they also do something like that, right? They abuse this opportunity only for the sake of themselves. Right? Like I read recently that even Australia are now afraid of China because they make some airport in northern Australia, but they are afraid that one day later on, after 100 years, China can take over the land of Australia. Yeah, that's the threat that they have right now. And the same thing I think happened like in Sri Lanka, right? Yeah? They give the debt initially, the loan, but then it's becoming trap.
Yeah, debt trap. Yeah, debt trap.
Yeah, that's why the people are worried. I believe. Yeah, this is just to extend what Pak Marandi just mentioned just now.
Okay.
What do you think about this one?
Yeah, on sovereignty matter, that one, of course, no country need to protect their sovereignty. Yeah, there's one question, Prof. It is from Ibu, to Risna Yuda.
Yeah, okay.
Current economic condition of Malaysia. Yeah, as strategic management people, we study what we call the external environment, politics, economics, social, technology, environment, everything. We don't study just specific to one condition, because at the end, we want to see what is actually the what called the advantages that we can have, whether what strategy that we can use based on that situation. So the current economic condition, I think if you read from an economic report, so interest rate is increasing, unemployment rate is reducing, which is globally the global phenomenon. But one thing that the economic condition is better nowadays, because we emphasize now on the governance, we call this tata kelola, keuangan, administration, and hopefully, we can convince the investors, collaborators to collaborate with our companies. But currently, in terms of cost of living, to the grassroots, is that is a little bit high lah. The price of goods also increasing, but still we are manageable, because we have the subsidies continue to be given by the government. But again, the subsidies cannot be last long lah, because we call the targeted subsidies. They call in Malaysia category of people according to the income level. Like we have the T20, M40, and the B40. B40 is the lower income, and they are given a subsidy, whereby the higher level, T20 for example, now they start to review, not to give the subsidy anymore, and because they are rich already, so they can afford to pay electricity without the subsidy. Oh, Mr. Osman asked about debt trap. This debt trap is I have no idea about this, but you're right. Also, this is another strategy that is what I call in management, we call this unethical, because like hostile, we have hostile takeover. This hostile is unethical, not acceptable, because you are taking advantage to your own advantage only, and left the other side of people to be at disadvantage. This aspect of unethical aspect in strategy also discussed in strategic management, and that's why takeover is good. Hostile takeover is bad, because you do like backdoor, you have insiders, or you collaborate with you create cartel. Cartel mean like all monopoly. Among we have the black market, so dark economy. This all counter to the albir wa taqwa. This we call ta'awanu wala ta'awanu alal is wal udwan. That's why anything that create udwan, like you mentioned, they create havoc, they disturb your harmony, they want to conquer your country. All this under the prohibition from Allah. Wala ta'u alal is wal udwan. This is prohibited. This also can be a ta'awun, but cartel, the economy, pre-arrangement, dark arrangement, all this mafia, this is not acceptable lah. It's okay, Bapak Osman, okay?
So it means that still we have to be careful, right?
Yeah, be careful.
It's important, but yet we have to see the limit, right?
Takaful, remember the takaful?
Intention. Yeah, the intention.
Yeah.
If there is a bad intention, then we have to stop it, right?
Yeah, that's why we have to stop the ta'awun, because the ta'awun is very corrupted with the element of animosity, udwan. Anything that create udwan, you have to stop. Anything that sin can be also sin to your country in terms of severity, right? Sin, they wanted to create, to dominate, to capture your country. This is under the sin, and also udwan. Anything on udwan, if you find this element, we have to stop. We have to stop that, ta'awun, because Allah prohibited this kind of ta'awun.
But yet we have to make it clear in reality, right? Because it is somehow this is a concept, but somehow it is set in the sense of look like not clear, but actually behind that there is a intention to conquer something like that, right?
Well, we have to make it clear when come to agreement, MOA, have to clear agreement, terms and condition. And
Yeah.
also talk about contract, right? Akad, right? In Islam, the contract must be very clear, the intention, right? Majlis, akad, this akad must be clear. And no element of, sin, no element of create conflict. This another topic lah, akad topic. I think this under pro akhir.
No. From law people, right? From legal aspect.
Yeah, hukum, huh?
Yeah, legal aspect.
Fakultas hukum.
Okay. Okay. Well, we still have more time if you don't mind. So please, I'm inviting more questions, more comments. Hello? Is it all? Okay. Let me repeat, is that all? No more question, no more comments?
I already put the question in the meeting chat.
Oh, yes. Let me check.
Yeah,
With
I
that-
apologize if my question is off topic. Just want to know how is the current condition, current economic condition of Malaysia? Just want to know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Current condition already explained, it's not well because of the global phenomenon. Our interest rate is increasing and cost of business is increasing, and our reputation also at stake, because of the grand corruption that happened, known to all the world. So there is MDB and so forth. And now our PMX is now trying to recover the situation by focusing on what you call the tata kelola, the governance, the governance aspect. Because in order to give confidence for people, we need to we need to convince the people.
Sorry, Professor Ami, if we have to address this to the government, is it because of the current previous government in Malaysia? sorry to ask.
Because in the mixed economy model, we have the government intervene the situation, because our model of economy nowadays is called the mixed economy, right? It's not purely between the market and also the customer and the producers, but we also have the bankers as the capital providers for both the industry, and also we have the regulators, the government, who also collaborated with so many parties to sustain of course politics mean they wanted to also sustain their power and they need also the support from the business, and that's why then the people have to decide, because in Australia very clear, right? In Australia we have which one pro business, which one pro labor, pro people, labor pro people, liberal pro business. If the economy is not good, then people voted for the liberal. If the economy already good, people voted for the labor. This in Australia very clear because they only have two-party system. But in Malaysia, complicated because so many parties. We also not sure what actually the direction that they wanted to bring. I'm not sure about Indonesia, but to apply ta'awun Indonesia, Ibu Heni Nurul Aisyah, to improve economy in Indonesia with the principle ta'awun, the strategies that you can use, there are many strategies that you can use. If you're talking about to improve your efficiency in the economy, you can apply the vertical integration. Mean to say backward integration mean to save the cost and also the quality of your product. You can acquire the raw material by yourself, backward integration. And then to directly sell to the customer, you can go for the forward integration. But you're talking about to get more synergy, primary synergy, you can go for the horizontal integration through outsourcing. We can have this smart partnership collaboration. For example, like nowadays in Malaysia nowadays, the payroll, recruitment, many things and the functional area that already outsourced to third party, because these are not the complete advantage of the company. For example, payroll is about paying salary, right? Bank is doing that. Better give the bank doing, just pay for the service fee to the bank, and you don't have you can close payroll department. In our university, in Malaysia, many companies in Malaysia, we don't have payroll department anymore. We already closed payroll department because payroll means to pay salary. Right? Now we outsource the bank. Now bank doing that. Recruitment also here. With our HR no longer doing the recruitment anymore. We give to job street doing the recruitment for us.
Including for the professors.
They advertise and then they use our terms. They finalize the candidate. Then they just give to us the final list, the shortlisted candidate, and we just do the final stage, the interview. And we don't have to go and to go to college recruitment. This one we save a lot of money when it comes to recruitment. So this can be done at the company level, but when it comes to the country level, it's more complicated because it involves also the politics of the government and also the incentive. But however, if the government are very, very serious about having more investment, they can bring and they can collaborate with companies for their what I call investment mission. They brought like our new ministry called Investment Ministry nowadays. They brought companies together with them when they have overseas trip to meet the big companies in overseas, to get the FDI, foreign direct investment. So that one is more of we call the what I call the G2G, government to government strategies. But what we study, in our strategic management is more of the company level. Company level means how the company can sustain profit and also can sustain the advantage in their business. But when it comes to different level of organization like community, civic organization, SMEs, government, they have to adjust a little bit to tailor to their objective, because what we discuss in our management studies is we limit to the cooperation. That's why we call the corporate strategies rather than the what we call NGO strategies or SME strategies. They have specific strategies for them to accommodate to their situation. But however, strategy mean is how actually for you to achieve your objective with efficiency and effectiveness. So the formula to formulate strategy is that number one, you have to understand your context. That's what you call environmental scanning. I think they are familiar, right? Here, environmental scanning. You scan your external environment and also your internal environment. So the short form, we call the SWOT analysis. SWOT sounds like very ancient, right? But that is the tool people use to understand the context. So understand the context, what benefit that can give to you. So if you want to go for the community, like Department of Welfare, for example, right? How to deliver your objective, right? How to make people under your purview, reduce poverty, reduce problem welfare. So your strategy will be based on your context and your objective. And of course, it is not silo lah. You don't work with silo. You need to have town hall, dialogue, talk with your respective what we call target group. This is we call something that dynamic. But the fundamental in strategy is the same. Environmental scanning, and then from there you follow strategies based on the advantages or disadvantages of your environment. Prof, another question, Prof.
Okay.
Mr. Akmal Murtado. Six semester accounting, is it a master or undergrad?
Well, I'm not sure. Maybe
6 semester accounting.
Yeah.
I've invited some of my students to attend this lecture.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Okay, good.
So
Yes.
after Queen Elizabeth died and succeeded by King Charles, were multinational company affected because Great Britain controlled the world. This one we do not know what is actually the this is the world politics, and we are not sure the the change of the monarch have effect to the companies. We look at whether executive or not. I think in the context of king or queen in Europe, they are not executive, they are more monarch. And actually the prime minister worried people. But now we have Mr. Sunak, right? Mr. Sunak as the prime minister. I think he represents non-white. Non-white. I think more welcoming in terms of Asian non-white values are more welcoming. Because in the past, perhaps the white supremacy might be the barrier, but with the non-white became the prime minister, it gives a good signal. And when it comes to Muslim, I think in the UK, I think now Muslim dominated the administration, right? They have ministers and what called the mayor of London also Muslim. And the first minister of Scotland also Muslim. Remember this recent Ramadan, they showed this first minister of Scotland perform solat, Tarawih, and he led the prayers. First minister mean like chief minister of Scotland. I think in terms of Islamophobia in UK, not much because of Sunak as prime minister, non-white, and also Muslim dominated economy and politics. I think this is going to reduce the Islamophobia. But generally, according to Prime Minister Malaysia Anwar Ibrahim, that this Islamophobia can be reduced when we have more dialogue, more explanation. Sometimes they just depending on the media to portray Islam. They portray Islam like, they see Islam like Taliban, ISIS, Islam is cruel, Islam is something that is not true. When it comes to practice, now you can have a UK study in UK. Look at UK. These ministers, kill people, bomb people in UK, in Europe. They are Muslim. They are not Muslim by name. These people Muslim by practicing Muslim. So you can see them. Another, we have to more do da'wah. We call da'wah bilhal. Da'wah bilhal mean example. Everyone should be the da'wah to tell people Islam in our own practice. You don't have to worry, must have a high taqwa, high level of, as long as you practice Islam, the minimum, like the practice the 5 pillars of Islam, and then do it consistently and show in your da'wah behind example. I think we slowly can educate the Islamophobia. They see actually you are Muslim, but you are not violent, right? Because you are happy, you help us, that our neighbor, that in Islam, neighbors are neighbors, whether Muslim, non-Muslim, we no separate between Muslim. We have our neighbors, our neighbors. So Islam, they see very beautiful having a Muslim neighbors. They're helping us. They provide assistance, even though they are not very wealthy, but they provide the assistance. They can see the da'wah bilhal from the Muslim. Even this particular Muslim might not be what I call a very truly practicing. Like what I mean, when it comes to 5-time prayers, sometimes on, sometimes off, right? For example, like that, but they see the beauty of the practice, especially Malay Muslim. When they overseas, they still practice the amalan, the budaya Timur. For example, respect the elderly, help people. This becoming very, very powerful, example that people wanted to follow. The way of life is, all this we thought you people Muslim, bring bombs, to kill us, but you are different. Are you Muslim? Yes, we are Muslim. Where are you from? From Malaysia. Oh, we thought that you have Taliban in Malaysia. Where you got Taliban in Malaysia? So the individual, actually, individual example is more impactful.
More powerful to show, right?
This is why also in marketing we call the power of word of mouth. Word of mouth, and also the individual.
Or seeing is believing, right?
Yeah.
Seeing is believing.
Yeah, the living example.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a better da'wah. Not better da'wah, but that's not the da'wah that we have to do actually.
Yeah,
So anywhere you go, we can do da'wah, because da'wah, in my view, is wajib, yeah, for
yeah,
every
that is
Muslim.
wajib, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In any capacity we have, right? If you are
exactly.
knowledgeable person, you can talk, you can like you do da'wah, but otherwise just do Islam as it is, right? Then one good example recently, the brother of the top badminton player from Denmark is, I'm saying, not converting but reverting to Islam. You heard about that? Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Simply because he always see one of our player, Ahsan, do sujud every time he won the game.
Yeah, not
Only
sure,
because of that.
not sure.
Yeah, he just Ahsan and his partner, every time they win the
Sujud,
competition, they do
syukur.
sujud, right?
Uh,
And it was watched by that the brother of who's from Denmark, the top player right now. I can't remember his name. And then 1 week ago, he reverted to Islam in Indonesia. He went to one kiai to start to do shahada. That's from simple thing, just from seeing someone who is do sujud right after winning some game. See, the simple of seeing, believing, or showing something simple like cleanliness, like to be clean.
cleanliness, yeah.
It is better than just talk many things, but not doing anything.
Exactly, those talking also have another risk, because Allah also warned in the Quran,
Aqulu ma tafalun. Yeah.
Why you are saying that something you don't do?
That's why it was said that many ustad will go to the hell as well, because they talk but they don't do it.
Yeah, they only talk but they never practice.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Well, I think one more question. Who is that? Oh yes, dakwah through good akhlaqul karimah. Yeah,
dakwah bil hal. We call this dakwah bil hal.
Bil hal, right? Okay. Well, please, any other comment from? So lucky, Prof, that some of them are from the classes. I can see their name because they are also my student, like Akmal just now. So really, we are so lucky this morning because this class was is attended by 68, just not 70, right? Students.
We have Honorable Yusuf, my sifu in this.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Brother Yusuf, where are you?
Some word.
Please, Brother Yusuf, I'm here with you. You're invited to say something. Brother Yusuf, Ustaz Yusuf? No time, not, sorry, long time no see, right?
I would like to hear your voice, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Brother Yusuf, fadal. أنت تتكلم كلمات بالعربية بالإندونيسية كذلك. ما في مشكلة. Where is he? أين أنت يا أستاذ؟ Ustaz Yusuf? طيب. There's problem. Well, any other comment or question, please?
Sorry, one question again. Is it
Yes,
okay?
please. Yep, sure.
Yeah, you're speaking. Yeah, I think in Indonesia has the same situation with Malaysia regarding the palm oil. In the palm oil industry in Malaysia, we believe that face several challenges, including the issue related to deforestation, climate change, and sustainability. So, just want to know how Malaysia's strategy to facing this challenge. Thank you.
Yeah, under the climate change, we continue to show what we practice. We have we practice the good plantation practice by our plantation companies here and also plantation company in Indonesia to convince people that we have our standard of doing plantation, and those saying that we pollute the environment, we destroy our river, we destroy this. We show the we have to do the road show to explain to our customer in the Europe that whatever you say, the child labor, environmental effect, we destroy the forest, those are not true, because we have the statistic showing that we have the biggest size of forests compared to other countries in the world. And we maintain our areas of plantation even plantation, we practice the good plantation practice. These are the example they do, and they collaborated with the what I call the until they explain, and then they also do roadshow. This what happened, you know, they went to Europe to explain. And number two, we involved in the COP meeting, you know, COP meeting in the world level to explain that we are the signatory of SDG. We ensure that we practice all the SDG goal, and we also ensure the goals of SDG into our what call our system. In other words, we need to explain to people. Otherwise, we have to explain and as so that people will be aware of our situation.
Okay, thank you, Prof.
Welcome.
Okay. Well, the time is limiting us. So sorry. We almost approached 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, right, in Malaysia, or 9 o'clock here in Indonesia. So, well, we have to end up soon, I believe. Bu Fitri, you will say something about this lecture?
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam.
Thank you very
So
much,
let me
Prof.
introduce Bu Fitri is the secretary of MBA program.
Introduce my program. I think, yes, well, Prof. I'm the secretary of program study of Magister Management. I would like, and it's very, very, very honorable for us to invited you here as our speaker, and it's very, very good opportunity for us to join collaboration in the future, such as community services and research, and also teaching, maybe exchange student as well. Okay, thank you very much, Prof. For
Most
coming.
welcome.
Yeah,
Most welcome, Ibu.
Yeah, thank you, Bu Fitri, or Dr. Hadati Fitri. Well, again, I would like to thank as well to Prof. Suhaimi and Brother Yusuf, right, who have attended and even given us amazing lecture for this morning. This is the final lecture for this subject, because next week we'll have the exam, inshallah.
All the best.
Really, you are adding fruitful thing for us, because you are adding good value from Islam, from Islam, that is ta'awun in our, because normally when we talk about strategic planning, we talk first about growth, then we talk about competition, right? The competition from the West normally is about killing each other, right? But ta'awun is helping each other. That's why this is something different from our perspective. Where we are, because we are Muslim and we are from YRC, then we need to develop this more and more. And I hope this is not the first and the last, but we'll continue with another visiting lecture next time. You can also invite some of us, inshallah. Even I'm thinking about student exchange. So some of us will go to Malaysia, and some Malaysians come to Jakarta, even though for limited. Yeah, inshallah, right. So we'll extend this to our rectorate, inshallah. May our rector also support this, and then we becoming a brother in collaboration, in ta'awun, inshallah.
Yeah, in practice, ta'awun in practice.
Yeah,
okay. Okay. Well, by this, I think we can close our meeting. We still have another 5 minutes, inshallah, to chat, if any. If some of you will talk to Prof. Suhaimi, okay, before we close at 9 o'clock, at 10 o'clock, inshallah, Malaysia time, or 9 o'clock in Jakarta time. Okay, let me officially close first by reciting Alhamdulillah. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih.
Prof. Suhaimi.
Thank you.
Thank
Terima
you.
kasih kembali sama-sama.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih, Prof.
Still have time, about 5 minutes, if you want to say something to Prof. Suhaimi, or if Prof. Suhaimi want to say something, please.
All the best.
Yes.
Thank you very much. May Allah bless all of you with taufiq wa najah. And then if you already in S1, S2, right? S2, go to your
S2 right now, yeah, master degree.
So S3, if you
wish to continue in Malaysia, right?
S3 here, you are most welcome to do your S3 here. Or S3 over there, co-supervision between us and you.
Yeah, sure.
Or examiners, you can get examiners for your S3 from here. So everything possible, inshallah. Thank you very much for your I call your kind sharing in this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Right.
much.
Okay. Yes.
Maybe in future we can talk more on collaboration between Universitas Yarsi and IIU and Prof.
Yes, Dr. Hadiati, insyaAllah.
Yeah.
Somebody's talking, saying something, huh?
Mm.
All right. Okay. Because time is up, then if you have another agenda, you may.
Okay, Prof. Thank you very much. Thank you
Okay,
all.
Prof. Suhaimi.
Have a good day.
Jazakallah. Also, the Prof. Yusuf, Ustaz Yusuf, if any, Jazakallah khairan.
Okay, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih, Prof.
Silakan sebelum kita tutup